Recording. Welcome to Bow and Archer Flow. We're doing a little Supta Virasana prep. Get the quads and the core connected. It's resting on the forearms or the hands. Slowly, slowly. Squeezing our thighs together. Minding the pressure on the outer knee from the outer thigh band. Then we counter pose. You might need a little longer, so just stay there for a while. Then when you get satisfied, we'll just Malasana into Adho Mukha Svanasana after a while. Okay. After a while, we have time. I'll wait for you. We'll work into the walking dog from the squat. By the time you make your way to down dog, we're going to hold one heel down after we're walking. So we're walking for a while. And after a time, you can take holding one heel down. Just going to cross my foot, my heel, and press down. Recently, I also like to stand on my instep. So I would stand with my base of my toe on the front of the instep at the ankle, or hooking behind, or standing on the foot a little bit. And then taking the other side. Okay. Then we'll take a Scorpio, kick back for a lunge. Take a nice long grounded lunge. And arch your back, perhaps. Catching the back foot, more long thigh, long core with a twist and a lunge. And standing down into a pyramid, set up for a twist. Moving from front thigh to back thigh. Take a little twist. Drop to kneeling eventually. Set up for a lunge prayer twist. I'm going to pull that long side body on the lunge. Wait for it. Let the side body stretch through the waist into the thighs of the back leg. Then drop into your favorite twist. Hold your expression for an extra breath. Advanced option is lunge, twist, and catching the foot for the deep quad. Up to the hip in the second. And releasing in baby Scorpio out. Once you get into baby Scorpio, you can stand it down onto the forearm and work the shoulder. And eventually push, kick back to dog and tiger through your wave. Turn on the core. Release the spine. Press up, activate the spine. And back to dog. Second leg Scorpio. Lengthen that core out. Activate the glutes, stabilize the lower spine. Kick back and lunge to the grounded lunge. Take a grounded archer as you like. Do the Arno technique, push up, activate ribs, support the twist. Perhaps catching back foot, long thigh, deep core twist. Pyramid pose, standing down, work the back of the front leg, squeezing front thigh with the breath. As possible, lift the toes and define the pose. Drop, kneel, and pull that side body for a while, perhaps. Head pressing back into the forearm at the elbow. And drop into your favorite twist. Come back down. I skipped the pose already from when you're ready to finish. I'm going to come back into a rotated triangle, Parivrtta Trikonasana, from the previous, if you care to catch up, from the previous pyramid pose setup. I skipped a twist there if you want to try it. And as I roll the thigh, front thigh out at the top thigh, dropping the hip back, then I'll kneel down and reach up. Sometimes it's nice to press the front thighs to reach off the back leg arm. Just grounding. And then taking an extra breath, activating inner thigh, find the sit bone in the navel. Empty out for the twist. Could be a little nicer, more space on the hip. And repeat. Advanced option is to catch the back foot, but that's not for everybody. Whatever you decide to do, finally, we will come back to the baby Scorpio, set up for the shoulder stretch and the core release, and releasing the hip, opening the sacrum. Feel the core, subtle stretch on the belly. And ultimately hold here or stand down, press forearm into deep shoulder. Kick back, press to down dog, and wave forward into plank to up dog. You want to repeat the flow, curry style. X flex, inhale, squat back, high seat. X flex, inhale, squat back, high seat. X flex, inhale, squat back. I could probably do that 100 times to get fully warmed up, but I'll shift into up dog. Flex spine, drop pelvis, and express extension. Good. And we'll make our way back. Gonna do a little extra therapy with the swan. Finger wide finger stance wave, back toes flex, heel kicking slightly back. One, two, three, four, five. Gonna drop to the forearms and do our basic twist. You know the drill, roll the thigh, press the sacrum, catch the foot at your leisure. Press up for sure on the in-breath, press down on the sacrum and twist, exhale back. In X. And deep option, catching the back foot, pulling towards the pelvis for a few breaths. Extreme option, first you can roll to the outer thigh if you want to chill. You can also rest both knees bent on both shins and push down and sweep up for a little yin style cross core. You can also do more yin basics with the front ribs on the thigh and just rest. Just check in with the lower back and the hip. And the deepest option is to reach through and lie on your upper arm for the twist. And choose your variation. For the bow, it's all long thigh, active core, prep work with twist to detox, open the spine for the extension of the heart expression, the bow. Slowly press up when you're ready, full Scorpio, standing. Eventually kick back and chaturanga, press down. Inhale, press up when you're ready. And pull back. You want to go out, go deep, and stand to downward dog. Go on. Go ahead. You want to go out? Second leg swan. Very gentle, very slow. Check in with your body. If it's a little tight in the hip, pelvis side to side is a gentler prep. And eventually make your wide finger stance waves. One. Back toes flexed, hopefully. Two. Three. Four. Five. Drop into forearms. Go through your motions. Rolling thigh, pressing sacrum, catching foot variations. And full deep foot pulling pose. Eventually release, roll to your outer thigh with both knees bent on your shins. You can just turn your hand out so your shoulder can roll out, so your blade can drop into your rib when you press up, and sweep a little back. And stepping back into the swan, perhaps a little yin for support of the rib against the thigh to release the back and the hip. And the ultimate option is to push up, reach through, recline onto your side body in prayer to archer. If not today, one day, your front heel will press above your pelvis into your core. Take your archer's pose option. Opening the chest, feeling down the thoracic inner shoulder blade spine, and catching the back foot as the deepest pose to take here. Long core with heel massage, deep twist, earth support. Eventually release out and full Scorpio out. Release the hip, open the long core. Release the back. When you're ready, kick out, drop in, take your press. And press up. Stretch the frontal core, front of the spine, pressing out the toxins from the back of the spine, and counter pose. Flex back, stretch the back, strengthen the front, and downward dog. One more grounded prep. Cross the ankles, thumbs forward, hug, drop the elbows in, drop the blades, squeeze inner thigh, flex up, drop the tail, round the back, long shoulders, and next in breath, press the knees off the ground, a little micro press. Just keeping your strength up. And pull through to sit. Recline for a few bicycles. You can hold the interlace your fingers behind your head. Get the long, strong core. Activate the legs. Basing on the sacrum. And twists. Turn on the obliques, use side body, support the back, tone the waist, strengthen the abdominal core a little. And take a baby bridge, Setu Bandha, feel the bridge, strengthen the gluteal triangulation in the back, stretch out the core a little bit, bend your elbows, fist over elbows, push through the upper arm to lift a little more. Turn on your ribs. Super good. Recline back down and take a few scissors. If it's a bit strong or you're feeling more gentle, just don't lower your heels towards the floor as much. You just kind of stay up, but do try to twist a little. So I'm going to grab the mat and push back until I stop. And take a fighter move, a little twist for the Thai twist, a little more therapy. If you like to press up stronger like onto your shoulder blades, like a shoulder stand, Salamba Sharavangasana. Salamba means support, so you can hold your back. Sharva means all, Anga means limbs. Supported all limbs pose is the name of that shoulder stand pose. Then I'm going to move into the Thai twist so you know how we do it. I'm going to twist my hips to one side and sit diagonal down and then kick back across the mat. So get that long lumbar spine and take your variation that you know so well. This restorative movement therapy is just circling the arm as you hold the thigh. It's quite nice. If the eyes follow the fingers, the hands, sunrise to sunset, the neck and shoulder learn to move together in harmony. And eventually pressing the sacrum so this pubic bone goes towards the floor, and you catch the back foot. Again, long thigh for the bow prep, releasing tension and toxins from the spine, core and colon. Of course, it's also moving to the right first to digest and opening that hip out to the side as you roll onto your back. Some people catch and kick. Some people just hold the upper inner shin. A little inner thigh, back thigh. The soft version is arm lock to keep the knee bent with more support on the shin. Which would eventually be more sinew stretch from the pec into the shoulder if you decided to go strong on the kick. Then go back to the mat, catch the mat, push backwards a little bit so that we may lift up from the core, and a little prep for the second side. And sitting to the opposite edge of the mat on diagonal pelvis and kicking back across the mat for the long tail. Checking in with your body. Sweeping arm, head rolling on the floor can be quite nice. Perhaps pressing the sacrum, pubic bone towards the floor and catching the back foot for a few breaths as you breathe your chest back. Eventually release all that. Turn the leg out, catch the inner shin by the knee, and just let your foot go towards the floor as possible, releasing the hip and the groin. Some people catch the inner foot and kick out, lengthening the inner back thigh, or reaching through the calf, catching the outer foot like we do, and kicking out. Activating more arm, shoulder, chest, and gently softening the extension for the groin. Of course, it can go on and on if you wanted to pull in and go into your kicking your outer foot and, you know, stretching your deep seat of your folded leg. Which I'll catch up with and just go straight to the other side. Go back into an arm lock, inverted lunge, both knees bent okay. But this time I'll just cross and pull in, trying to hook my inner elbow forearm around my outer ankle shin and pulling in. Deep option, of course, is to extend the free leg, but it's okay to bend both knees. Then bringing the free knee in, catching the outer foot, pulling the shin, perhaps. Release the deep seat. Okay, release everything, cross the ankles, rock forward and back, check in with the lower back. You feel okay. Eventually try to get up, grabbing your upper shins and start to rock the spine. And come up, cross the ankles, press back, jump or walk back to a press. Express your heart and release your spine. Open your shoulders. Kneel down, elbows down. I'm going to take a downward dolphin. Just to check the shoulders, I'm going to hug the elbows in and try to push back. Back toes flex. If you feel to stand, you can stand and press back. If you're looking for a little strength, it's okay to kneel down and press forward. Pulsing forward. Strengthen your pecs and your shoulders. Use your breath, drawing the navel in to activate the ribs in the front. Press up and roll it out. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, flex forward. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, flex forward. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, flex forward. And again, standing version. Exhale, tiger body. Inhale, deep squat back. Exhale, flex forward. Inhale, deep bending knee, squat back. Flex forward. Inhale, deep back squat dog. Flex forward. One more time, upward dog. After upward dog, you can shift into a downward dog. Good. When you're ready. We'll take the lunge again. This time, no twist. Just put the hand on the front thigh. You might relax your back toes if it's nicer on your knee and base the back shin, if you like. And then lace the thigh and lunge forward for a little while. Then if possible, reaching back, catching the same side foot, and trying to press it towards the pelvis and lunge forward again. Some people like to hook the foot with their inner elbow, with their forearms, and hold their back of the head with the lunging hand. Some people go deeper and clasp their fingers, which I'm not going to do today, but most welcome. And release. I'm going to go into an arm lock on the front lunge through the inner leg. Flex the back toes and pull back, but eventually try to stand down. Then an arm lock pyramid pose. And I'm going to do a vinyasa with an arm bar and arm balance. I'm walking my back foot back into a full lunge and kneeling down. So when I dip my shoulder behind my calf and pull my hips back towards my flexed toe heel, seat towards the feet, stretching out a little more. Then kicking out, taking a little arm balance on the floor or in the air as you like. I'm going gentle today, but if you want to pop up, you're welcome. Another way to do that is to narrow your stance, put your upper arm into your rib. Lean your rib into your upper arm. Nice way to support the lower spine by pressing the front ribs. And I'm going to just go straight back to relax back pose, like a kneeling dog. Take the second, you can wave it out. Check in with the effect. I'm doing finger stands, but that's not necessary for everybody. Just letting the sacrum kind of slightly, gently pulse forward and down until I feel a good release in my sacrum and press back. Hands down, stand down. Take the second foot forward on a lunge and pause. See how that feels. I'm on the ground. Eventually, once that feels pretty good in your hip, and your thigh, and your groin, your back, and try to press up onto your thigh. You might want to relax your back toes. You can't see me, but that's up to you. If you want to base the shin, place the thigh above the knee, press up and lunge forward. And then the deep option is to go for the back foot off the same side, pull in and lunge forward. Try to turn your shoulders forward if you can, but don't push it. To release that, stand long and go into an arm lock and ground. With the back toes flexed. Yes. Yes, sorry. You can hook with your inner elbow and hold your head. I'm a little rusty. When's the last time we had a class? Jeez. Some people take their elbow behind their head and clasp or use a towel. I'm not going there today, but you can. And when we release, we'll go into an arm lock. Take a deep grounded lunge. I've reset the long back foot, back toes flexed. And dip the shoulder behind the calf a little bit and pull the hips back, seat towards the flexed toe heel, and pause for a breath or two or three. Eventually, if you can, thumbs forward or index forward, stand down in the arm lock pyramid and work the back of the front leg to strengthen the inner thigh of the back leg by hugging in with your inner thighs. Gonna go into the arm bar now, finally again. The shoulder dips behind the calf, pull back, and arm bar out. Just want to chill here, that's fine. If you want to stand in a turned out squat for a lunge for a moment and get your upper arm more into your thigh, you can also narrow, make your hand stance more narrow. Try to push your ribs, your upper arm into your ribs, lean on your ribs. See if that helps. Lift the back leg. And I'm just going to pull straight back when you're done. Just rest in downward dog. Okay, I think we're pretty warmed up. So I'm going to step the first foot forward. Into like a warrior one. And find your own style to get up. Might be supporting the thigh again. Squeezing the back inner thigh, turning forward. Flexing in, core in. Check your ribs off your spine, alternate shoulders. And then we'll open into a warrior two. Go into a triangle. All right, come into a warrior three and take a little twist. Both sides. And eventually lace the thigh back, heel up, and come into a lunge, standing lunge. And wait here or lace up. And work the shoulders and ribs if you want to circle your arms. Both directions. And we'll stand down. Pull the back leg up and catch. Cross, cross kick. And twist. And bow. Catch the ankle, squeeze the thighs together. Base your thigh. Folding from the front hip, lean forward. Pushing up on your front thigh. And then kicking up. Looking down. Hands down, stand down. Swing, flow out option. And push your front foot back a little to get your palm weight down. Swing. Relax. Now swing and push up. Exhale, relax. Inhale, swing. Up. And eventually just come down. Take your breath. Now up. Exhale, downward dog. Second foot forward, stand down, hold your ground. When you feel good, and lace the thigh. Press yourself up and check in. Eventually core in. Right, work the shoulders alternately. Okay, we're gonna open into warrior two if you like. Take that side, long side lunge. Do your body maintenance. Strengthen that thigh, stabilize that hip on the lunge. Take your warrior stance. Work both inner legs so strong. Take a deep breath and perhaps take a twist. Extra breath. Inhale, stand up, lift your chest, lengthen your lower spine to prep for the twist. The other side. Extra breath. And lace and lunge. Lace down on the thigh, back heel up. It's okay to kneel down if you need to. Hold your thigh or lace up. And hold. And you might circulate, working shoulders and ribs, activating Releasing the spine. Feel the core working its magic in the front, both directions. All right, now we're gonna step up, shorten the stance as we prepare to pull the back leg up. Catch and hold. Cross, cross, kick. And twist. Catch same side, squeeze thighs together. Base your standing thigh. Shift forward from your hip, chest forward, and kick up. Eventually, hands down, stand down. Prepare for swing flow. You may finger stance and push your front foot slightly back until your shoulders say stop, your spine. And palms down, get your weight on your palms. Push strong. Inhale, swing up. Exhale, relax. Shoulders over the wrists, long shoulders. Inhale, swing up. Exhale, relax. And repeat. And eventually press down. And it's a lot on the wrists, so let's press up, away from the wrists, activate the legs, and pull back. I'm gonna drop to my elbows and come on the backs of my wrists just because my wrists need a little relief. Press the thumbs forward towards the floor. Pull the wrists apart till the bones stop. Hug elbows in. Shoulder blades back. They won't move much, but a little back. And squeeze inner thigh. Shift the weight to the inner knee bones and push through the wrists. To flex up through the spine. Activate front side ribs. Feel the wide shoulder blades. Feel the stretch up through the outer arm. And maybe stand down or just wait here. When you're ready, come on down. Your elbows in your knees, check the wrists. Come into a finger stance. Thumbs towards the middle, fingers spread, gripping, hugging, shoulders to the ribs. Flex forward and carry on like an upward dog. So that finger stance is strong. Put your palms down and try again. And make your way back to dog. Step your first foot forward, come to standing. This time, excuse my backside. Once you're standing up, we've stepped our first foot forward, like a warrior one. And instead of kicking up, what you can do, just going to catch my back foot. Interlace my fingers around my ankle, squeeze the thighs together. Now here, the same technique applies, makes it easier to go deeper, safer. Squat, repeat with the heel on the seat. Then bending from your hips, shift forward with your foot, your heel on your seat. Once you have your weight forward, then kick up. Feel the difference in your spine for your bow. Release into a swing flow when you're ready. Maybe 3 times or so. Perhaps index forward on the swing, shoulders forward, long shoulder. When you're ready, drop it down. Push it up. And pull it. When you're done with that, you can pull it back and rest, please. When you've gathered yourself, you can, from resting, you can press to dog. Tiger body. Extra up dog or kneeling upward press. And pull back again. Stand down. Step forward like a warrior, but we're just coming to stand. When you come up, we're just going to catch the back foot. Interlace and squeeze the thighs together. There. And then squat into your inner stance with the heel on the seats. Then shift your weight forward from your hips like a tabletop. Then just kick up from the forward position. And swing flow out at your leisure. After a while, you rest. Good job. Make sure that you're swinging from plank, not dog. Good job. Shoulders are over the wrist when you swing up. So it's a pretty short stance. That will make your body lighter, easier to hold the balance. Good. And then pull back. And rest. Nicely done. All right, I'm going to step the first foot forward again, go straight into an arm lock with a butterfly position, the thumbs forward. Just pull the hips back, stretch a little. Lunge again. Pull back again. Lunge again. Pull back again. And standing the back foot, stepping into the side body pose, ankles on the sideline. Keep your arm locked, butterfly inner palm base. And perhaps reach up or just hold your hip if that's easier on your shoulder and spine. It's up to you. Some people will try to extend their forward leg a little bit. Lunge, extend, lunge, extend, lunge, extend, lunge, extend. Forward leg, good. Then we'll take finger stance, potentially. Step the back foot up to the front foot for an arm lock Scorpio. It's like a half moon, right? So, like we do. You need to straighten the upper leg or bend the upper leg. Both are welcome. Feel the bent leg core, feel the straight leg hip, the sacrum. And some people even bring their hand to their pelvis or to the sky. Nicely done. I'm going to go into an arm lock side angle pose from here. You can also do it kneeling. Just the first step, as you know, is to put the back of the hand on the hip. And if you need to kneel to achieve that, turn your leg out, flex your toe, and just push your thigh to move your shoulder, lift your chest and move your shoulders back over your hip line. Or you can try to do it standing up, your side pose, hand on the hip, pull your upper shoulder back to move your hips in and your shoulders back on one line, the line of the feet. And then extend your front leg a little bit. Some people use a towel or clasp their fingers or clasp their wrist and pull the shoulder back. If you're clasping your fingers together, the back hand stays on the hip and the upper palm turns in to clasp your fingers together. That's the first step. Then if you hold your wrist, both palms turn out. You pull it back. And when you're done, after you've extended your leg and extended your arm, you had as much as you can do. Of course, you can step up, pull, and kick, but that's not for everybody. But sacrum forward, sternum back. And then I'm just going to come down and release all that. Keep the arm locked in a grounded lunge. Rest by, if you like, flexing the back toes and pulling the hips back. Maybe drop the head, all that looking up on the neck, just drop the head. My free hand, forearm above the wrist, likes to push the base of my skull down to stretch my neck, but that's kind of extreme. Be careful. And then do what you can to press out. I'm just standing on my back toes, not trying to do an arm balance, but it's there if you want to feel that. And baby Scorpio out, rest on that forearm. That was tough set. Whatever part of it you did is wonderful, and stay down, pressing back, or stand down, pressing back. You can step behind and do an upper cross core. That feels yummy. Your lower side ribs, shoulder, arm, waist, wherever you feel that, and then stand down to one forearm back press. That feels delicious. You could kneel down for the forward press. That's a bit strong. Feel your pecs lifting through your shoulder, toning, and rest in Sesasana. All right. I'm going to go right to the second side and do an arm lock. Just chill out on the ground. See how that feels. You can pull back and lunge forward. Pull back. Lunge forward. Pull back. Lunge forward. Pull back. Hold back, maybe. And lunge, hold forward. Eventually standing into the arm lock pyramid. Preparing to step your back foot forward. If you can. You can take finger stance, step your back foot up towards your front foot. If that's a lot, wait there. If you can, lift your leg. Strike stance, if you remember, is very handy here also, especially on the arm lock side next to the outer foot. In any case, you might want to try to straighten your upper leg or bend it, feel more core on the bend. Maybe you feel longer stretch on the kick, more space in the hip, more pull on the core and the waist. Some people even reach for the hip or the sky. I'm going to stand down into a basic side lunge with the arm lock. A little more even simpler, delicious variation is just to hold the ground and reach for the stretch with the circular arm. Some people might want to kneel down and turn their legs 90 degrees apart, flexing the back toes, sitting on the heel. This is for the arm lock. So then the back of the hand comes to the hip. If that's a lot today, you can simply push on the back upper thigh or wherever, try to move your shoulder back. That might be a lot on your hip and your waist today. A lot of digest and detox around the waist, lower back. Some people hold the ground and stand down. The back of the hand is still there, palm out on the hip. You can hold your opposite hip and just pull your upper shoulder back. The sacrum come in, let the sternum go back, shoulders on the hip line. And some people will try to clasp. If you're clasping again the fingers, the palm faces in to catch the palm facing out lower fingers and pulling the upper shoulder back. Or you can catch the upper wrist, both palms out, and pull back as you extend into the pose. Some people step up and work into a standing balancing pose option. Then when you've had enough, you just gently release, take it down, go back into your arm lock lunge and just pull your hips back, stretch out. Maybe come into an arm bar. I'm gonna lie down and rest and just extend my leg just to demonstrate not only am I a little tired, but also because I can get a much deeper stretch. Hi, Wan. Hi, doggy. The curly tail kicking out. There's a deep stretch. Next level is whatever you want to do with it. And well, baby Scorpio out for the upper cross core setup. So we drop to the forearm, which is also comfortable to rest there. Take a little pressure off the shoulders and the wrists. Maybe looking down to relax the neck. I'm going to step behind to an upper cross core. Can you kneel down with crossed legs on your shins? Yes, that's more comfortable. You have a crossed leg shin base, and you're just, from the downward. If you're catching up with the sequence, yeah, you got it. Okay, the baby Scorpio, step back, push it back. It's okay to kneel down with crossed legs. Stand it down and press forward for strength. Then uncross your legs, push back. Get that deep shoulders. It's okay to kneel down. And forward position is very strong. Kneeling is welcome. And then cross your feet, your toes, and take rest in Sesasana. Before we go into some floor bow work, like skydiver and Bakasana frog and
Danyara, these kind of bow poses, which is so nice with the ribs supported on the floor to help open the spine. Going to invert the palms first and just check in with the forearms, flexing the toes, and just stretch. Let the shoulders go back deep. If that pins and needles in your wrist, if that's too deep, you need to shift forward. Don't try to sit back. That's okay too. And please try to bend your elbows slightly, best you can, just a little. And strong belly, strong inner thigh. With that stretch up the forearm, past the elbows, through the biceps, into the delta. Feel the shoulders. Consider bringing your chin to your chest. You can release your neck. Long shoulder is a deep neck. Because the shoulder blades are basing the ribs, which allows the stability of the thoracic rib spine, to get the long neck and the resistance of the middle spine. Ooh. And again, back to the hands and finger stance. I'm going to definitely flex up, feel my navel pull in, feel my tail drop. Just feel some juicy belly power and micro pulse. Just a little power. So nice. I'm going to step forward and cross my opposite toe and just do a real quick little power press before the floor bow work, which is backs of the hands together and just rolling fingers in and up, elbows in, right? And continue rolling gently, almost not pressing or pressing strongly as you please, but please do spread your fingers when you press your wrists together, or in general to keep spacious wrists, fingers spread, active muscles throughout the forearms and beyond through the whole arm. Good. Now the old school is turning back, hugging around your chest, upper arms towards the ribs to this peacock type pose. I like to flip it around and get inner wrist, outer shoulder spiral with lots of inner palm, but that's just me. I'm going to do that briefly. If you want to join me, you're welcome. So I'm just going to come in, turn it around, put it down, and just do as best as you can to get to your ribs. I know it's hard on the chest. If hands wider is easier, that's fine, but hands close together is good. Small detail. You'll notice from your experience, if your hands are together, when you put your weight in your hands, just like downward butterfly, the weight will shift in and move inward a couple of centimeters. So if you start with your hands touching, the bones will probably press together and be uncomfortable and disruptive of your stability. So there should be a little space between your hands. So when you press down, they will not touch. A nice way to practice this or to share with your students is just take downward butterfly. So if you want to start narrow or start wide, wider is going to be easier on your shoulders. But thumbs forward, press into a downward dog. Feel the long outer arm stretch through the side body stretch. Lots of inner palm base, much outer shoulder rotation, lots of long side body, long middle rib spine as a result of the ribs expanding. And then you can kneel down and try that with your hands close together. So it's a very nice way to teach, nice way to practice together. So the hands are very close together. Maybe if you did a karate chop between your hands, there's just a few centimeters of space. That would be a good idea. Fingers spread, thumbs forward. Now, when I get up and walk my knees back to put more weight on my palm, I'm going to go and then eventually stand down. Observe the weight shifting naturally into your inner palms. That's delicious. So the narrow stance clearly pulls you a lot of stretch through your inner shoulder blades. You feel that? Ooh. So nice. So that's a way to prep, just to get familiarize yourself with this kind of press. Then you could maybe play with, bring your elbows in towards your ribs and leaning forward onto your ribs.
I know it's tricky to get around your chest, but if you want to try it, it's just leaning forward, walking the knees back. I'm not even straightening my legs. I'm just kneeling down and feeling a little bit of weight on my ribs from my upper arms. Straightening the legs is another level. But if you do want to go into the arm balance, it's much easier to take what I call a frog, which is our diamond. So if you just bring your feet together first, your knees out, it's much easier to consolidate your back weight to lift your legs and pelvis. So if I'm just here, it's much easier. Now I've got my elbows all the way down towards my navel. So I'm not just trying to stay up on my ribs. I'm trying to hug way down and around, into the deep core like that. So then you can just, turn it into a bow, like that. And that's a prep for lotus. The lotus variation requires lotus. So if lotus isn't happening today, or for your students, you just have them put their feet together. It'll be easier for them to lift up. Of course, you could put your feet on the wall or toes on blocks. It's quite challenging. So we're going to leave it there. That was fun. I'm going to go ahead and press the back hand into the palm and extend together the both hands and arms and try to rotate that shoulder out as I extend. And just keep pushing the wrist to my comfort level. So the hand is just like that. I'm just supporting it. And just push and rotate that shoulder out, let the blade drop. Thumbs up. Then it's a little martial arty, but then the hand that's fingers pointing in, then points out. And that's a little tricky on the shoulder to turn it in. That's why we bend the elbow. And then once I turn it, it's almost like you're turning your palm out and pointing your fingers forward. Then I'm going to reach over the top and grab my outer wrist, my outer palm close to the wrist, that is the hand. I'm just going to pull it into my chest, counter stretch. It's like a backhand press. The same backhand press, but a little inverted. You just roll it out and feel the grip power coming in. With the strength. And of course, maybe other systems, but in martial arts, we have to grip to work the micro muscles and the fast twitch nerve fibers. Like that. And then the other direction for the joints, the tendons, is to then open, push out. And your muscle, nerve, brain function will fatigue, and then we won't be able to do it anymore after a while. You're like, what? And you grip. So that's another way to create extreme power in the micro muscles and get nice tone. And okay, stabilizing alignment, but okay. That was a little sidetrack, but it's so nice now. So you just push out, the fingers pointing in, catch with your palm, push it out, let the shoulder rotate out, let the blade drop. And resist to your natural comfort zone. Then I'm just going to turn, like I'm doing this, right? Like we're doing that. It's like a tiger strike in a way. So we just turn the palm out, elbow bent, fingers kind of point forward, and then reach over and catch the outer palm close to the wrist and just pull it into the chest. Elbows will drop a little bit. Super nice wrist therapy. You just roll it out. You open, you grip, 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 grip. And after a while, you get pumped. It's like lifting micro weights in the fascia. And then you open it out. Let it go. Release the energy. So you're taking the energy in, and you're releasing it out. That's where the S sound comes from, martial arts. It's continuous core. And it will get kind of pumped. You'd be like, oh, it starts to ache in your shoulder, right? And then you start to feel that kind of power, micro muscle power, very good tone, very good joint stabilization. Okay, that's fun. Now, we can drop back to the floor, but first we're going to heat up with down, up dog. So let's take down dog, roll to up dog, roll back to down dog, roll forward to up dog. I'm just kneeling, but you can stand back. Okay. Before we hit the face down floor, I'm gonna do one standing straight arm cross core. So I'm gonna step over, just stretch it out. Now the cross core can be treated like a down dog. Just push it back. That cross leg strength, inner thigh strength, the little step out, side body, and the twist. And you can shift it forward. You can squat it and reach over. A little more back bend bow there. And then we do our cross core 2. That wide sweep. You like that? You're looking, if anybody's looking for extra power, you push it back to center, catch your outer foot and kick it out. That super long upper side body. And then with the inner back heel as is, you kick back, the same hand catches the same foot, and you kick out. This is sometimes known as tiger tail pose, but this is my cross core stretch, counter pose, and press down. That's enough for today on the hand press power work. So before we hit the floor, let's try the other side. You can tiger it out. Our tiger is the rolling spine, the strong core, stable joints position. When you feel good, you can take the other side. Remember, you slow it way down as you reach for the floor with your foot, and then push it back with your hands. You get that long side body. Then you can power it forward if you like. You can also squat it out. Distribute the weight out of your singular wrist into your squat feet, legs, and then arch in, squat, back bend forward, squat away from the wrist. Check the shoulder, work in, take it easy. You can also just, and then come around into cross core 2. You're kicking forward. Optimally, the toes and the toe tips and fingertips are on the same line, but that's the idea, forward, not to the side. Just sweep it out. You can push it back, slide back to your center for balance. Like you're doing a half lotus, kneeling, deep hip work. You catch your outer foot from over the top and kick it forward. Eventually, you can kick it back, let it go, and catch it again from the back on the same inner back heel base. Kick strong, get that long bow through your thigh, little twist in it, and let it go. Release it. We're pretty warmed up now, so we're going to go face down on the floor and come forward on the forearms and just rest, just in case. Moving the pelvis side to side, release any residual toxins and tension from around the sacrum, the lumbar. If you want to do a reverse tie twist before going into back strengthening, which is the bow work, and heart opening, remember this one. If you kick forward on one leg, of course, it's lovely to just do your tie twist. That's amazing. You can do that if you like. Let's do that first. Feels so good. But then the tough stuff, if you want to try it, you can back engineer this, do the reverse tie twist technology, which is keep the same leg. It's a little difficult, but you come up onto your forearms, keeping the same leg, and you try to take a tie twist in the other direction, opposite the leg. not easy, but oh. And you can also do the shoulder joint and blade therapy by just lying on your arm with your ribs. Oh, that might be it for me today. But if you had it in you, you could try to take a prayer twist by walking your elbow a little more forward and out until you feel like you can do it. Doesn't have to be to the side, whatever it takes, to get into the prayer twist with the lunge on the opposite side, just to go deeper into the pose. Oh boy. Oof. Now I'm catching the same side hand to foot in a reverse tie twist, pressing the foot towards the hip, which is kind of like a Parivrtta Bekasana or rotating frog. But anyway, that's kind of fun, or not. And then release the leg down and let your pelvis go side to side. Make sure you're okay. If you have pain, you might need to push back and squat first. I don't know that. Or a downward kneeling dog. If you're having pain, you might need to push back. Otherwise, I'm gonna go right to tie twist up the regular twist on the other side and just enjoy it. Then you want to try the second side like that. You come back onto the forearms. You keep your same lunging leg and you reach through. You can push up like a dog to help yourself reach through. It's a lot of compression on the lower back. Be careful. Then drop down and rest your ribs on your thigh. We know the small details. The extended back leg toes flex could push you slightly forward to put more rib on the arm, but that's, up to you. The free arm, as you know, can reach forward to intensify the full weight of the ribs on the arm to get more release to the shoulder and shoulder blade, hence thusly the ability to stretch the neck from the stable shoulder and ribs, the stable thoracic spine from the rib structure. And so again, to get into the prayer twist, you might need to bring your arm diagonally forward, not to the side. That's what I have to do today. Oh, it ends up kind of being on the side, on the shoulder line. Oh, and then you can just catch your same side foot and push the foot towards the hip, like a rotating frog, which we have nothing but frogs around here in our rice paddies. It's a chorus every night. Oof. Oh, yosh. Then you come on out and straighten your leg. And for sure, I'm going to army crawl, for lack of a better term, out on my forearms, walking back until I can sit my seat towards my feet and check my lumbar from that intensity. If you need it. If that's not enough and you're feeling compressed, then straighten your arms, push up on your hands, widen your feet, and take Malasana. Maybe without the prayer. The gentle version of that is walking your hands forward or where they were. So the heels are slightly off the ground and not taking prayer and just stretching your heels towards the floor with your hands forward. And you can press your thighs apart if you like that. That's quite nice. Then if it's still like, take a Ardha Matsyendrasana real quick and get a little more release from your back if you need it. Or some hip work. You want to drop the leg from the twist and just center. And if you need to, for any reason, internalize your hip to counter that external hip, you just stack your legs, fingers backwards behind you, and just press your hips up, your chest up. Little side body kneeling bow, quite nice. Then open
into a diamond. Just release everything. Okay. You can take Ardha Matsyendrasana on the second side if you need it. I would recommend doing both directions, of course. And you can push your hips back and stack up your knees and ankles. Release your upper hip a little, maybe. And then you can fold your legs if you like and lift your pelvis. After internalizing that hip, eventually just open up, release the hips and go neutral. Then we're going to come around onto the floor. And if you're ready, you can move your pelvis side to side. Make sure you're good. Once you're face down, you're ready for some skydiver. A little more work today. But is lifting the hands and the feet. The knees can stay down. Extreme option is to lift the knees, but an easier way to do that, to create therapeutic bow work, is to cross the ankles first with your knees together. Take reverse lace lock as an extra option, and then extend your legs, squeezing catching with your ankles to get your knees off the ground and pulling your shoulders back with your reverse lace lock. And then bending your knees, crossing the opposite ankles, and extending with the resistance of the ankles. It helps tremendously to get the lift in the leg and the strength in the back. You can roll onto your shoulder on one side and the other side for a little extra massage on the head of the arm. It can be quite nice. You can scissor your legs if it's easier to balance. Then we come into Ekapada Bhikkasana, one-legged frog option. So we're back on the forearms, right? Tough stuff. I'm going to stay on one forearm until I'm comfortable. Come on one hand so I know I'm comfortable on one forearm. And you notice I went diagonal because it's less compression on my shoulder, but that's up to you. And then I try to, my legs are parallel like a down dog, not feet together necessarily, just natural. And then I'm going to catch the back foot. And that might be it today, but if possible, I'm going to try to press the foot towards the hip, pelvis. That's frog. If you're like me, I'm taking it in the shoulders more than the lumbar right now. Whoops. Again, some people like to hook with their forearm and get a little more pull. They have longer arms or more open hips and thighs, but okay. Release that. I'm going to go right into a quick twist. The leg that I caught is a straight leg base. The foot that I caught is a straight leg base. The side that I have not caught is a lunge for the twist. I'm going to push my sacrum. I might even go direct push on my lumbar spine. It helps me to release. As I inhale, lift my chest, to lengthen my spine. Then exhale to close my ribs and come back in for the other side. Once we're on the forearms, make sure you're comfortable on one forearm. Keep the legs straight back and just bend the foot up. Bend the knee so the foot points up, and try to catch the inner foot, the inner big toe side, inner arch of the foot, and just pull a little bit. If your shoulder can internalize enough, internally rotate enough, it becomes that frog position where you're pushing the foot into the hip, pelvis, and this profile looks like that. So the shoulder is quite internalized. It's a lot in the shoulder. Of course, you try to turn the shoulders forwards, but don't overdo it. You can also push up and get that long core, that proper spine stretch, and that long thigh, long core, spinal compression from the lifted chest. And the release, the holding foot becomes a straight base leg.
And I just turn around and twist to the other side. Get what release I need. Nice. Now for the tough stuff, not for everybody. Some people can pull with a towel, but Paripurna Bhekasana, Bheka, Bhekasana. It's Paripurna is like full moon, like the full pose. So you catch the foot, both feet. This is where it gets a little bit tough. That's why we did so much prep. And just, you might stay face, chin down, long throat, pushing the feet towards the pelvis. And that might be enough today. If you could catch your inner feet and lift your chest, you can pull it like a bow, which is nice. Shoulders externalized because if you're catching the inner feet. Outer ankles is the easy way people do it. It's not wrong. Feet together, it's not wrong. Just internal shoulder, different kind of stretch, quite nice. But eventually you want to go for the inner foot with the thumbs up. So the shoulder rotates out, the thumb turns down and out and up. Catch the inner feet, right? And then you can pull nice, that really open chest with the external shoulders. Feet can pull together, but don't pinch between the blades. Good job. Then the next level is to take it into Bhekasana, which is to try to bend your elbow out and internalize your shoulder. I know it's tough. And try to push it in and catch the top of the foot from the inner foot, bend the elbow out, internalize the shoulder, and try to push your feet down, basically from above your toes on your insteps. I haven't done this in ages, so I'm not going to get very far, but you can go deeper by lifting your chest and getting your feet towards the floor. Then you can just catch your outer feet as they are and kick back and rock it out, rock and roll, looking down or looking up as you please. Then I'm going to come down and let go. Take a deep breath of relief. Pelvis side to side, chest high, releasing the lumbar. Right? And the tough stuff, which I certainly won't be able to do today, but I'll get a towel and demonstrate the finale, which is the full bow. So if you have a towel handy or a cloth, you can take your fair lady of the woods with babe. No, two ladies in the woods. I collect these Japanese scarves, tenugui, and then you just lasso your ankle with your palm up, holding the cloth on your forearm or lower down a little bit. It's okay. Just holding the cloth, your palms up, your shoulders out, your elbows in. That's the tough stuff, right? So then you try to, well, here's another way to do it. I'm going to have to do today. I'm going to roll onto my side like a tight twist. Make it easier. Why not? Most students would really appreciate this. And then I can maybe start to get my elbow forward. I can push my elbow forward a little bit and eventually get my elbow forward. And I'm doing like this side one-legged full bow. Paripurna Dhanurasana. You need to slowly lower the elbow down and then kick it out. If you're holding the foot, you can just kick it out. I'm holding my inner foot. I'm on my side body. My back leg is straight. And I'm just kicking out and stretching my shoulder from external shoulder with traction, extension, supported extension to counter that internal compressed massage on the joint. And I'm checking the neck as a result of the nicely based shoulder blade. Then that's a lot on my lumbar. So I'm going to hug in my knee towards my chest. Some people lace the shin below the knee. Some people hook the shin with the upper forearm close to the elbow to intensify the thigh towards the ribs and the better release of the sacrum. And then kick it out and stretch sideways. Side arm bars, keeping your balance. You can scissor out. It's the upper leg that, you can see my towel. It's the upper leg that scissors back. They're both legs are off the ground. I'm basing on my forearm. And I reach away, kind of stretch that side body. And if you're feeling pain, you just roll onto your back and circle your sacrum in both directions. Or you can pull your knees towards your chest. We don't want to go too deep because we need to do the other side, but you can reach through, do an arm leg lock, reach through your inner calf, catch your outer feet, and pull your knees towards the floor. As you do, take a deep breath and exhale, press your sacrum towards the floor. That should decompress your lumbar pretty good. You can kick it out if you want. Or pull it in like a diamond. I just let go and reach over the top for my ankles and put with my feet together and pulled my heels towards my bandha and then lowered my feet towards the floor as I hold on to the ankles, fronts of the ankles from the inner foot. But okay. All right, then we roll to the opposite side today as we close out. We're gonna need a bandha bridge big time, right? So you take your towel if you have one, if you need one, round your ankle, your foot, catch your palm up, the towel, and then bend your knee with your steel palm up, elbow in, like our Mayura, and put your arm out for balance, and try to pull your elbow forward or help yourself pull it forward. Go as deep as you like. And slowly lower that down. Release that. You can catch your foot and kick away. I beg your pardon. Palms up. Catch your inner foot and kick away so your shoulder rotates out. So you get that longer shoulder joint from its external position, which allows the blade to drop into the ribs like we do. And then you stretch the neck as you kick away. And maybe even push the tail forward a little bit, get more long release on the sacrum and the lumbar. That's good decompressive work. It's a lot of stretch on the quad at the knee, but careful. Then slowly counterpose your knee into your chest. If you're just pulling lightly, that's fine. If you want to hook your inner elbow around the upper shin, it's a little more pressure on the ribs, certainly more pressure into the hip, and perhaps a greater release on the lumbar. But then the hip needs to decompress. So eventually you kick away like a scissor. The side arm bar is giving you balance. The upper leg extends back like a long scissor. The lower leg can lift or not a little bit. Got the arm pushing you up, and then you reach away and stretch that side body so good while decompressing the sacrum and the hip. I know we're at time, so then you can roll onto your back and perhaps slowly pull your knees towards your shoulders. Don't bring your legs together because you want to release your hips and relax your tailbone to open the lumbar spine. Then you can reach through the inner leg and catch the outer foot, maybe one side, a little stretch, maybe the other side, a little stretch. Eventually, if possible, you could try to pull the knees towards the floor when the heels are over the knees. This angle you can't tell, but I'm just in a reverse squat. And then press the sacrum towards the floor for the therapeutic release of the lumbar. Some people like to kick that a little bit, but okay. I'm going to finish with a not lotus. I'm just doing that for myself because it's not for everybody, but it's another way to release the back, increase the front. But I'm going to finish with a baby bridge. I thank you for going overtime. I'm gonna rock the spine slow. And by the by, if I'm not up for rocking forward and back, if my lumbar is compressed, if I'm feeling pinchy pain, I'm just gonna rock my sacrum, keep the shoulder blades on the floor and just chill out. It feels so good. You're looking for a little strength release. I know I'm just going on and rambling with my body, rambling on, but you can cross your ankles and make circles in the air. So nice. Lacing the head, facing the ribs from the arms above, and the other direction. Possibly the opposite ankle crossed. Another time, if you're interested, knocking fists with the thumbs on the side, thumb tips touching would make a perfect prop for the sacrum between the first index knuckle when you put that under your pelvis and then circle that. Then the knuckles become the massage tool on the tension line between the sacrum and the hips through the glutes. Oh yeah. And I've bent my knees now because I'm chilling, because it's time to chill and go both directions. It's so delicious. Everybody gonna love that. Yeah, and the straight leg version is, of course, longer tail, stronger core. If you don't want to cross your feet, you're looking for immediate alignment between the hips and the sacrum, then you don't cross your feet. If you do cross your ankles to find stability of strength, make sure you cross both ankles. That's all. Good job. Or just bend the knees and chill. It's much more gentle. All right. And then I feel a little better to kind of start to rock more. Hope you do too. So you can finish up a little late with the Bonder bridge, then a diamond forward bend. So as the rest, I know you can do this with your eyes closed by now, but feet together, fingers point backwards, behind, seat to feet, finger stance, bent elbows, optional as you like, whatever. And then lift the heels, roll up on the base of the toes. If you're still in the game, pelvis is up and sacrum is so far forward. And then you sit your heels higher towards the sacrum. You work a little bit. You notice, well, after a while, by moving the knees towards the floor, by the navel towards the spine, by squeezing thighs together, you've released the core and the thighs. So you can lift the pelvis and bring the sacrum even a little farther more if that feels better. And eventually through that process, you get your knees to the floor, your thighs together, maybe your palms down. Ooh. Oh, and of course, the therapeutic counter pose is just to sit down and push your ribs slowly towards your front thighs and check in with the lumbar from all that bow work. And repeat, because it just gets sweeter and deeper and more comfortable by repetition. Then another quick Ardha Matsyendrasana because it's in order. Back bend to forward bend, integrated with a twist to prep that opposite direction of the spinal cord at the sacrum and the lumbar. Then if it feels right, you're going to take a big diamond, reach through, catch the outer feet, walk the seat, and drop in. Big chest bone forward, very important. Shoulders back, so smart. And there goes the head down. The seat bone's back, good. You can finish here. Some people like to hold the feet and kick the legs. Again, adjusting the seat bones. And go in through the shoulders, down the spine. The shoulder blades getting worked like this stabilizes the blades and the ribs to create longer pull on the lumbar spine. If you can feel that through the breath. And then I'm going to take Shavasana with you and say Namaste. I'm going to sign out here as we reach the quarter hour. And let the earth take you. Feel the weight of your bones. Releasing. Remember yourself, Shavasana assist. It's going to be very assisting here. Grab the outer edge of the mat firmly with your elbows slightly bent, shoulders slightly shrugged, kind of, and then push backwards and just let your palms go up, and your feet fall out. That should draw your sacrum and your shoulder blades down, lengthening your neck, freeing your breath and your body. Oh, nice.
Please take all the rest that you need. Thank you so much today. Namaste.